nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much for joining the live stream again today. Today's topic is the sugar contract. Is it just sweet for the Filipino? But I've got a special guest today that I'm going to introduce my viewers and subscribers to. Her name is Sharon. How you pronounce your last name, Sharon?
Sharon Cavalier.
Cavalier.
Yeah, Cavalier. But if you say it in French, it's Cavalier. Cavalier.
Oh, okay. Well, before we get to you, Sharon, I always like to give a shout out to Jacob Tanjay and the NTZ crew. He's in charge of the no troll zone. So you don't have to worry about trolls coming on here bothering you today, Sharon. Okay, just be yourself.
Okay.
He's going to monitor all of that. Thank you, Jacob. We have another guy, Michael Beach of Life. He's actually over here in the Philippines now, but he's probably coupled up with his girlfriend somewhere. The exchange rate is 55.58, which is still unbelievable. I mean, it's high, right, Sharon?
Yes.
That's very high. Also, we want to send our sincerest condolences to the victims and their families of the earthquake in North Luzon, up Manila and above. 5 people were killed, dozens in the hospital. It was a 7.0 on the Richter scale. Many aftershocks. And actually, when I was reading this, there was a 7.7 magnitude earthquake in the Philippines in 1990 that killed over 2,000 people. So just be cognizant of that when you travel around, where the typhoons are, where the earthquakes are, and all of that. One last thing before I get to Sharon, I want to apologize to anyone who was offended by the monk mode comment or anything I ever say on my live stream. Remember, guys, this is a community and a support group. We're not trying to offend anybody. I know that the pandemic has had an effect on a lot of us in different ways. Some of us have become very sensitive, man. And I just want to let you know, don't take this stuff personal, guys. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to give out some information. Okay, so I want to apologize for that. But now to our special guest, Sharon. We just call you Sharon C because I can't pronounce that name. Give us a little background about yourself, Sharon. Where do you live right now?
Okay, I am living now. I was grow up in a little island, which is part also in Lapu-Lapu City. But for now, I am living in the mainland of Lapu-Lapu City because I have a house here in Lapu-Lapu City.
Wow. Your own house?
Yes, I bought my house last May this year.
Wow. Yeah, that's outstanding because a lot of the guys, they think that Filipinos aren't successful over here, but you bought your own house.
Yes, I bought my own house because it's very important to have your own house here because not all Filipino people, but there are some, even they are your family, but they don't respect you. And me and my daughter bad experience that to kick out of the house of my auntie.
Oh,
it was a very, very horrible. Yes, they are our family, but they kick us out. in their house. But it's
Yeah,
okay. I understand, and I forget. I'm moving on and looking forward with my daughter.
that's good. So how old? How do you mind me asking? How old are you?
I am 40 years old, but I will become 41 this next month. I mean next week. Sorry.
Yeah, you're like my girlfriend Marilyn. Y'all look young for y'all
Mhm.
age. She looks to be in her late 20s, and she
Mhm.
works out all the time. Do you work out?
Sometimes here at home.
Yeah. So how old is your daughter?
My daughter is well, and
So how old?
she
How old?
15, 15. She's
Okay,
15
good.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's good right there. So you're a
Mhm.
single mother, and if nobody isn't aware, every week or so I try to bring a new vlogger on my channel
Mhm.
to try to give them a little push, to try to give them some help, because it's hard, it's difficult to make it
Mhm.
on YouTube. And that's what I'm doing
Eh,
with Sharon. I'm going to let her kind of tell you a little bit about her channel. I know she just got started. So when you go to her channel, she doesn't have a whole lot of videos yet, but that's going to change, right, Sharon? You're going to start making videos.
Yes, I am starting my vlog now and uploading some videos.
Yeah. You know, one
Mm.
thing that I would suggest to you do, because I'm a foreigner, I can only talk about
Mm.
certain things, just my experience, really. You can talk about the whole culture. And one thing that guys are very interested in is how to approach a Filipina on the street. Because some guys, they don't want to go online and meet the young lady. They want to
Mhm.
meet her in person if they at the mall or at the market, at church.
Mm-mm.
How do you approach a Filipina?
No, for to approach a Filipina, they must respect it first and say hello and asking the name in a respected way.
Okay, so it's just that simple.
Mhm.
Like, hello,
Yeah.
uh, Calvin, how are you today?
Mm.
What's your
Yes.
name? Something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah,
And then,
exactly like that. And then getting to know each other slowly.
yeah, now do I ask right away, are you married? I have a boyfriend? Or what do I say after I say hello?
Could you repeat, please? Excuse
Okay,
me.
yeah. What do I say? What comes next? When I say hello, what's your name? You say Sharon. I say I'm
Ah,
Calvin. How you doing? Now what?
okay. You can told to her that could we become friends because a relationship is the friendship is the beginning of the relationship, and then better
Uh,
to have a friendship first for getting to know each other more before you are moving to have a relationship so that you will have no problem instead
yeah,
in the
well,
future.
yeah.
Mm.
Now, are you single? Are you married? Or
I am a widow and I am single and I don't date to anyone. Honestly, there are some foreign men who wants to know my name, but I am not interested for the moment because I am focusing to taking care of my daughter and to always be with her side, to always monitor here at her school if she do it well at, in her school.
oh, okay. Well,
Mm.
good. So, and I send my condolences to you on the loss of your husband. How long have you been a widow?
I am a widow last, I mean, 2 years ago. My husband passed away last 2020.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it's very sad because I am so very far and I never see his buried body until the end. And It was very, very sad. And
Yeah.
we've been separated for almost 7 years. After our wedding, we don't meet personally again for 6 years. More than six
Huh.
years.
What what was that all about?
It's all about that he is not confident, or he is not confident for his income, because he received only money allowance from social assistant, and then rented from his another house, and then he would like me and to my daughter to be together to go to Belgium because he is from Belgium. And
Oh,
then yes, I think for the embassy, I think there is an income requirement.
yeah,
Yeah.
certain amount of money. So he didn't
Yes.
come back to the Philippines. Why didn't he just come back and visit you?
No, he never come back because we talk to each other. We talk every day and Skype, and then we decide not to come here because he will not come here, because if he will come here and he will leave us, it hurts us very much when he leaves us here in the Philippines and going back to his country. So
Yeah.
we decide together that he will come here, and we are with him when he will go back to Belgium. That's
Oh,
what we
okay.
decide. Yes, and then at I think there was a time that we need a documents for to present to the embassy, and then sadly we prioritize to his mother, because when his mother was still alive, he needs him. So I told to him to prioritize his mother, because his mother needs him. And me, I don't want to force him to send me the documents very fast, because I am not that kind of person. I understand his situation.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
something. Do you ever get lonely? Because you're a human being, and I know that you say
Mm.
you're because that's what I notice about a lot of Filipinos. They can go without a relationship for a long time.
Mm. Yeah.
Marilyn, she went almost 3 years until she met me. And
Mm.
do you ever get lonely and say, "Hey, I want somebody to love and somebody to love me"?
No, I don't get lonely because I have my daughter and I have my family, and I can band my daughter like friends. We are like friends, both.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about your channel. What are you going to be talking about on your channel, and what how can you help us, because we need more vloggers over here, especially Filipinos,
Mm.
but we need them to talk to us.
Okay, I would like to show to other people how Philippines beautiful is it, and to share to foreign people also the attitude, and I mean the bad side and the good side of Filipino people, because me, I had a lot of experience in I mean bad experience to some Filipino people.
So what's one bad thing about the Filipino people we need to know as a I'm a foreigner. Tell me something
Mhm.
bad I need to know.
Okay, the bad, I just want to advise you, because I tell this to you based on my experience. You must be very careful to some Filipino people, because not all Filipino people face on you or talking to you is true. Sometimes they are, I don't know how to say, bad. They are nice in front of you, but when you are left, they talk behind your back. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, I never
yes,
heard that before.
yes. And there are some Filipino people also that they are nice to you when they need something from you. But
Oh
if
wow.
yeah, I
That's the neat
really, I
thing
mean,
right
I experience quite a lot. People judging me, criticizing me, looking down on me. Yeah, I have quite a lot of experience. And then now I must be very careful to some of my friends because not all of them are true.
there.
Some of
Yeah.
them are marites. We call that here marites. I think your girlfriend know what is it marites here in the
Well,
Philippines.
yeah. Yeah, but I see that on Facebook all the time, but I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Two faced it? Is that what that means, son? Mar-
Marites is people. Marites, it's Filipino people call to the people who are always talking to the life of other people, always blah 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 blah. Yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah,
we call that
gossip.
marites.
Gossip. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, did you graduate from college?
No, I am finished only secondary school, but my husband sent me to the French school last 2013, I think. Yeah.
Where? Where was that? Here in the Philippines?
Yes, here in the Philippines and Cebu City, and then the name of the school is Frances de Cebu. It's I think close. It's the same place with the La Vie Parisienne restaurant and bar.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. So
Yeah,
what
in La
this guy he said what I was getting ready to say. He says VFW Dwayne says, I like her. She sounds really intelligent and nice, and she is very nice looking. I was gonna
Thank
say
you.
you sound like you may have graduated from college, but
Mm.
that doesn't, mean anything. I didn't graduate from college either.
Mm.
So,
Yeah,
so what
but
do
I
you do
think
for a living? What do you
okay.
do for a living right now? How did you buy that
Uh,
house?
and now, could you repeat, please? Excuse me.
What, yo, I'm sorry. What do you
My
do?
job.
What is your work? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, my work before was make pedicure and manicure in my own, yeah, to
Yeah.
people for to earn money. But now and then after that, I made an online selling clothes online selling, but I stopped because my friend, who is my supplier, working abroad. And now I am selling. I am trying to selling jewelry, gold jewelry,
Gold.
jewelry.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you something.
Mm.
Okay. You said you were a manicurista. Do you know how to give a massage?
No, I give. I know a few. If a few massage, I know, but
The
just
Swedish
only a little.
massage. But you mostly do what? The manicure and pedicure, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for
I know
woman
you.
and men.
Yeah. You sent me a video. You were styling some clothes. Did you make those clothes yourself?
And no, I was both that online on Shein shop, and then if you have an account in Shein shop, you can have a discount, and you can find also discount code and Facebook so that you can pay less.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, I bought that clothes because I must take care of myself. We must look
Oh,
presentable.
yeah. Uh, yeah, I thought you may have uh, made those clothes yourself. But yeah, she sells gold jewelry, and that's one thing I want to tell you guys. 18 karat gold jewelry over here is you can get a good price for it, right?
Mm.
Sharon?
Yes,
Because I bought
yes.
Merle a few little dainty pieces of 18 karat that I could
Mm.
never afford at home. But here I was able to do it. But it's real dainty pieces. They're not real, they're not wrapper pieces or nothing,
Mm.
anything like that. Now is your daughter, is she by your husband that died?
And no,
Oh,
my
okay.
husband who passed away, he is not the biological father of my daughter.
Yeah.
It's another guy. I was met foreign guy again. He's from Belgium also, and it's a different way because I meet my husband in a dating site, which is Filipino Kisses. But the father of my husband, he is a friend of the husband of my auntie, who is now in Belgium.
Oh, okay. So what was
Mm.
the name of that? What was the name of that site? Filipino what?
FilipinoKisses.com.
Filipino pieces?
Kisses,
Oh, kisses.
kisses,
Oh, I'm
kisses.
sorry. Filipino kisses. Let me write that down.
Filipino kisses.
Okay, yeah. Filipino kisses. I don't think
Filipino.
I heard of that. No, I didn't. I haven't been there. She says I've been on there. Maryland did. So what? You must
Um,
be on there. Are you on there?
no, it's not. Excuse me. It's Filipino, not Filipina.
Oh,
Filipino kisses.
Filipino. Okay,
Yeah.
kisses. Okay.
And now the Filipino kisses have apps. They have
Oh,
apps now. Mm.
oh, okay. They have an app.
Yes.
So your daughter is she a Belgian citizen?
Not because it's a very long story because
Okay.
after I born her, I mean, when her father knew that I got pregnant last 2006, the first time he told to me to make an abortion because he got a
Oh,
fake marriage here in the Philippines with a Filipino woman before he met me. And then the Filipino woman was married with a Filipino guy before he got married to the father of my daughter.
yeah.
Yes. And then when he knew that I got pregnant, what he told to me is to take an abortion. But I refuse because I am not a crazy woman, a stupid mother to kill my own baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very big sin. And then I told to him, it's okay if you will not come back, thank you. If you will come back, thank you. That's all I can see. If you will not support the baby, thank you. And if you will support the baby, thank you. All what I can see is thank you. And then until the first time we had communication until my his support. But when my daughter was 1 year and 2 months, he stopped supporting us
Wow.
until now. But I didn't force him to support my daughter. It's okay. I don't care.
Right. Now, Ken, a guy asked, he says, what's your favorite meal to cook? So I guess, can you cook?
Oh yes, I am able to cook. I can cook pork humba, vegetables lumpia, afritada, and some Filipino dish. Except
Yeah.
balot because I don't want to eat balot. I don't like to eat balot.
Now, this guy says, now I don't know if this is true or not. He says that your daughter can still apply for Belgian citizenship. Do you know anything about that?
No, I think about that, but some of my friends told to me that before he can have Belgian citizenship, we must prove. I mean, we made DNA test for to prove from
Yeah.
my daughter and to her father and to give it to the embassy because the Belgian embassy now is so very strict.
You know that uh, maybe we could help you get a DNA for your daughter, and then, uh, well, what I'm saying is if we do it through ancestry.com, because we did that for a young lady here, maybe it'll match up with somebody in his family.
Yes, I think about it, but I was trying to search his father, and suddenly I was contact him, and but won't he
What you
won't
got?
agree to make a DNA test.
Oh, okay. Let
Mm,
me ask you something because this guy makes a great point, Jeffrey Tatter. He said,
okay.
this lady has real life experiences. I know her child will grow. are you going to tell your story on your channel? It's very important. And when you tell your story like I do, people are going to relate to it. There's somebody out there that's going to say, hey,
Mm,
I can relate to Sharon. But if you just want to be a tour guide, I don't think
mm.
that's going to work.
Yes, I would like to. That's one of my reason why I started to blog, because I really would like to share my life experience. In my, I mean, since my daughter was, since I was met the father of my daughter, and until now, I would like to share all what happened to my life.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
that and see that will help us more than anything else. Tell us
mm,
about your relationships. What went right? What went wrong?
yes.
What can we do to satisfy our Filipinos? Because this is
Mm,
what we're interested in. I can if I put Filipina in my title of my video, it always
mm,
gets 10,000. If I don't care how good it is. If I say married to a Filipina, dating a Filipina,
mm,
Filipina, people will watch the video. We are
mm,
interested in Filipinas, so you being a Filipina, you can give us some inside information
yes.
that I can't give you.
Yes,
See,
I will share my life experience. I mean, everything I would like to share it to everybody.
yeah, because a lot of people think that Filipinos are gold diggers. Well, why do you
Mm.
think they think that?
Yeah, exactly. Because, that's why the people think that Filipino are gold digger, because some Filipino people, they think that when their children or their child married to a foreign guy, and they think that all foreign guy are rich people, but they don't realize how hard foreign people work to earn their money, and then it's not easy way to live in their country because it's expensive. When they come here in the Philippines, there are a few rich because the exchange rate is much higher than the peso. But if they are living in the United States or any country, their salary is not enough because they pay in dollar or in euro. So that's why other people think that some Filipina people are gold digger, because there are some Filipino people think that all foreign men are rich.
Yeah, now I noticed that you're kind of bright. Do you use the whitening cream or not?
What? Excuse me, please.
Do you use the whitening soap?
Me, I don't use whitening soap.
I was
No,
just
I don't
asking
use.
because yeah, because you look like you're the
I
same
don't.
color as my mother.
I don't hear you well. Excuse
No,
me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I said you're the same color as my mother as she was.
Ah, okay.
What's your channel name?
Okay, my channel. Excuse me.
What's the name?
Yeah, my channel is Sharon Lapu-Lapu, Philippines.
Is that what your channel is?
Yes, that is the name of my YouTube channel, and I upload some videos, spending time together with my daughter and my cousin in Bantayan Island, and then the blessing of my house and the 15th birthday celebration of my daughter. And I share also a few picture and from the island where I grow. It's a very little. It's a two island. The one is where people living, and then the other one there are some beaches now there.
Okay. Can
Mm.
I give you a suggestion? The next video you make, I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to tell us who you
Mm.
are, your
Okay.
background, and everything like that. Okay.
Mm.
Let,
Okay.
let it be your next video because it's important. People want to know who you are. They want to know who am
Yes.
I watching? You know. You can't just put up a video and they don't know who you are.
Mm.
Hey, I'm Sharon.
Yes.
You know, if I were you, I'd take your real name off of there and I'd make it something else. I'd make it
Mm.
the Belgian Filipina or something. I would
Mm.
make it something where, because people attack you. See, I made that mistake. I used my real name and everything, and people come after you, and you don't have to worry
Yes.
about it yet. But if once your channel grows and starts getting some traction
Mm.
and viewership, the trolls are going
Yes.
to come after you, and you don't want
Mm.
them to know your real name. Okay?
Yes, and I would like to share also. I mean, I would like to share also my about my parents, about my father, how we are living in the little island. What is the livelihood in the island, and then the people way of living there.
Yeah. Now, Herbert Williams makes a great point. He says, I really hope that the men who plan to go to the Philippines will be responsible and not get these
Yes.
women pregnant and not be responsible for their child. Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
several
I hope
videos on
so.
that. And remember, we're talking to grown people and they're gonna do whatever
Mm,
they want to do. We can, talk until we're blue in the face.
mm,
All right.
yes.
Uh, but yeah, you're right about that.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, so is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself, Sharon?
Yes, I would. I will tell soon, as soon as possible. That is what I plan. I mean, that is yeah, that is what I am planned to write and to make a video about myself, about my whole life, my experience.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, what I want to ask you, in the Philippines, they talk about an old maid. You've heard that
Mm.
expression, old maid.
Not exactly. I don't
Well,
familiar
they're
in
saying
it.
a woman without a man. So is
Ah,
that
okay.
what you, is
Yes.
that
Okay.
do you have a plan on getting involved with in a relationship? Because your daughter's
Mm,
15, maybe
mm.
when she goes off to college or has a family of her own, you may want to, have a companion. Who wants to grow up old by themselves?
Mhm. Yes, I would like, but in the right time. I am plan and I am thinking also that I would I don't want to be alone in my whole life because I am still 40 years old and my
Yeah,
daughter soon will be 16 or yeah, and then I would like to be with a man and then in the right time. For the moment, I am not very interesting because I
yeah,
am focused of my daughter.
yeah. Now, did you build your house or was it already built when you bought it?
Yes, it's second hand. It's like a second hand house. There is a first owner, and then I both it, but I am the second owner.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob John Jay, can you put a link to her channel up for us so that people can subscribe to her channel? It's called, because she's got a long name to her channel. I would suggest that shorten your name,
Short,
change it
yes,
to something, beautiful
yes.
Pinay or you know
Mm.
something.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was supposed to put it island lady because I grow in the island. My parents
yeah,
live
yeah, like
there.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Island Pinay or something
Yes.
like that. Yeah, do that because it'll be easy to find.
Mm.
And because that's Sharon Cavalier, that's long.
Yes. Yes, very long.
Yeah. I'm not okay. This is a friend of mine, and I apologize, but he just wants to know: do you date black men?
Yes, why not?
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Mm,
you. And I know it's a shallow question. I get it
mm,
every day, and they don't understand. I'm a black man, and I live in
mm,
the Philippines, and I don't
mm,
have any problems getting women. But for some reason, they have to hear it over and over and over.
mm.
Okay, what's the name again? Let me put it on here. Sharon, Cuvelier.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Is that it? Is this it, Sharon? Let me see. Is that it? Can you see that on there?
Yes, yes, it's right.
Okay, that's it right
Mm,
there. Uh, yeah, he says. Brandon says, fellas, has nothing to do with your skin color. It's all about money. I know when Marilyn met me, see, she didn't lie. She was honest. She says, hey, I'm
mm,
looking for somebody that can help me
mm,
because I'm tired of really struggling.
mm,
Marilyn is a bookkeeper, but she only earns like 7,000 pesos a month. And
yes.
she was looking for, not only somebody to love her, but also somebody who could help her. She was tired
Mm,
of struggling. So that's
yes.
what I really admired about her. She wasn't trying to be fake. She was being herself.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, what else do you want us to know? Do you have any sisters and brothers?
No, I have three siblings. I have three brothers, and I am the only one girl and the youngest. And
Oh wow.
my yes, and our oldest brother, he is married in another island, which is Olango Island, part also of Lapu-Lapu City. And then he is working in a barangay there, and my other cousin work in the shop. I mean, he make a welding in the Trans Asia shipping company. He is a welder, and my other brother is work in a ship. He is nautical, so he is a seaman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they
Mm.
all got good jobs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's good. Another thing
Mm.
you can do, and remember, I hope you're writing this stuff down because it'll really help you. I can't do it. I don't have any
Mm.
female Filipino friends like you. You
Yeah.
can you can interview them
Mm.
and ask them questions about life in the Philippines, about dating
Mm.
and all of that. In life in general, you can do
Yes.
that. I don't have any. Maryland is really the only Filipino friend that I have.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, do that because that's what we want. We want to
Mm.
see the Philippines. We want to see beautiful women. We want to know more about you, what what you like, what you don't like, what turns
Mm.
you on, what turns you off.
Yes.
Now, is it true that Filipinos don't like a man with a beard? We've heard a lot about that.
No, I think I mean it's depend, but not all Filipina.
Yeah.
Mm.
He said super chat's not working. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. Do you have any tattoos? This is
No,
what.
tattoos, no. I don't like to have tattoos. No.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah, because Maryland
Mm.
don't have any. I noticed that a lot of when I came here in 2009. This is when I first started coming to the Philippines. I
Mm.
never saw a Filipino with a tattoo. If she did, it might be a little bitty one by her ankle. But now I see
Mm.
women, their whole leg is tattooed. Their whole
Yes.
back and their arm is tattooed. And that's their choice, but it just looks
Mm.
like things are starting to
Yes.
they're loosening up over here.
Mm.
Okay, it says
Yes.
subscribe to your channel.
Thank you. And
So yeah,
I mean I upload also video about about the drawing of my daughter because she drew quite well. I don't know where she got that kind of talent. Perhaps She got that
Yeah.
kind of talent with my one of my niece because one of my niece drew well also, and she likes anime. She is very creative girl, so she drew quite well, and she drew so much. She
Yeah.
likes cartoon anime.
Let me ask you something. When you
Yeah.
go to the beach, do you wear bikinis on the beach, or what do you swim in when you go swimming?
Okay, I wear bikini, but just only on the upper, and I cover the lower.
Yeah. He says you
Yeah.
look like a young Diana Ross. Do you know who
Ah, no,
Diana Ross
thank you.
is? Yeah. Uh, now, do you live where your house is? How big is the lot?
Okay, I mean, not, I mean, the land is only, I think 40 square meter because I live in a subdivision. So it's
Oh,
a row house. Yes, it's a row house, and then so much houses connected to each other. So I both this, and then I am living in Deca Homes 3, Basak, Lapu-Lapu City, close to Basak, Gaisano Grand Mall, Basak. So
okay.
we are very close to the mall, and then we are very close to the pharmacy, a little market, butchery, I mean meat store, and hardware.
Let me ask you something. Which Gaisano is it? It's not the Gaisano capital, is it?
What? Excuse me, please repeat.
There's two Gaisanos in Lapu Lapu.
Yeah.
One is like the new big one, and then the other one's like the
Mm.
old one that's over by that's near the bridge. Do you live close to that one?
Yes, yes. So that one is Gaisano Island Mall.
So you don't live near that.
No, no. I don't live there. I live in another Gaisano Grand Mall Basak, or Gaisano Grand Mall Mactan.
Oh, okay. Thank you, bad
Mhm.
boy, for the super chat. He said, "Super chat's okay. Keep it up, Calvin. Love the streams."
Mm.
Yeah, which we've got Sharon with us today. We're trying to help these Filipino channels get off the ground, guys. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how important they are. If you can get a Filipino that's really going to give you the nitty gritty, like she's giving some nitty gritty now, it's really going to help
Mm.
you.
Mm.
Um, where to live, where not to live. Can
Mm.
we asked the Filipino before? Can we live off 1,000 pesos every month?
No,
No,
for now.
not
Okay.
1,000 pesos. I'm sorry, one
Okay.
thousand dollars. So that would be 56,000 pesos. Can we live off that?
Oh yes, you can live here in a very comfortable way for 50,000 pesos income each month. For me, it's too much.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
because here, if you would like to rent a fully furnished house, there will be a fully furnished house rented amount of 15,000 pesos or 20,000 pesos a month, which is
yeah,
two bedroom and complete utensils.
yeah. So the cost of living is cheap. Is it low in Lapu Lapu?
Yes, it's low in Lapu-Lapu, but if you would like to stay in a very high subdivision, the rent of the house there it's quite expensive.
Yeah, but simple a
Mhm.
simple life, 55,000 pesos a month
Mhm.
is good, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. See, guys, you're gonna get different questions. Now, we asked a younger lady that same question.
Mhm.
She said no. She says it's not enough because you got to give the Filipino 1,000, and then you gotta have 1,000 to live on.
Mhm.
She said it takes two
Okay.
thousand.
You know,
But
honestly, okay, honestly, when
true.
my, okay, excuse me, sorry. when my husband was still alive, I was renting a house before, me and my daughter, where is a fully furnished, and I make a negotiation for 10,000 pesos, and my husband pay rent for 10,000 pesos for the house and 6,000 pesos for our food and 2,000 for the electricity. That's all. 18,000 per month, and it's enough for me. I didn't ask more.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
that's good. Thanks, Coach East Moore, for that super chat. Hey, thanks, John, for that super chat. He says, show some possible rentals. You'll get lots
Mm.
of views. He's giving you a suggestion, Sharon. He said, show some places where we can rent
Okay. There
and
are
go
so
in
much.
there. If the
Okay.
owners, can you
Um.
go in and put that on your channel? Because a lot of
Okay.
foreigners are
Mm.
interested. Okay. Yeah, good
Okay,
question.
there are so much subdivision, I mean inside subdivision, and then they make a house rental for fully furnished, which is 15,000 and 20,000, and it's a good place. And then it's very safe because there is a security guard. Nobody can easy to enter, I mean to go inside the place.
Right. Now, one thing that I like about you is you're mature. See, a lot of
Mm,
guys, they don't realize how good it is to have a mature
mm,
Filipino. She's going to help you guys. A lot of guys like these young girls, but they don't have the knowledge that Sharon has. See, they're always going to want to tell you, I'll move into Horizon 101 and
mm,
do this and do that. They don't know the places where you can live off of 55,000 pesos per month. So that's good when you speaking to an older. See, you're young, really. I'm 59. You're really a young woman, but compare it to some of the women that we date over here, you're
mm,
considered mature, and that's what I like, and that's what I told people. The reason I really like Marilyn
mm.
because she's connected. She can get
Yes.
things done. And at this stage in my life, that's what I need. I need a woman that can get things done.
Yes.
Luis Martinez says it would be hard for me to rent a place in the Philippines because I would never know if I'm being ripped off. Well, see, this is where Sharon comes in. See, you let her do the negotiation for you. Let
Mm,
her show up at the place, and then you just move in with her. Because believe it or not, guys, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Is the sugar contract on the second half
mm,
of the live stream. The first half, I'm introducing everybody to Sharon. She's
mm.
a new Filipino vlogger in Lapu-Lapu City. Go to her channel, guys. Here's her name. Subscribe. She's already promised us that she's going to talk to us about dating, about the cost of living, about the culture and everything.
Yes, if I would like to tell to some foreign guy if they would like to rent a house or a condominium here in the Philippines, they will make a negotiation instead. Like, if the price is 30,000, they negotiate it to 27,000 or lower, because there are some Filipino people um grant an opportunity. They take for granted. If they know that it's foreigner, they make the price higher. I knew it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew it.
absolutely. Um, he says, what's a sugar contract? A sugar contract, guys, is when we put everything in the Filipinos' name, your
Mm,
honey's name, because that's what they call us over here, honey, your sweetie, your
mm,
sugar. You sign a sugar contract. I'll give you an example. I built this house, the land, the
mm,
house, everything's in Maryland's name. That's a sugar contract.
yeah.
Okay. This is what most foreigners do. And I just want to talk about what it is the pitfalls,
Mm.
what you can do if you don't want to sign a sugar contract. But it's very important that you know what a sugar contract is, because you leave with nothing basically. You're at her
Mm.
disposal really. If you once you sign that sugar contract, and don't say
Yes.
what you want to do, because you'll get over and you'll fall in love, or you may have a child.
Mm.
And you're going to sign that sugar contract. You're going to put everything in her name, because it's just how it is. But we'll talk about that
Mm.
later.
Yes.
But here's her name. Tell us something about you before we get off here, Sharon. Um, because we're going to tell them to go to your channel, subscribe. Um,
Okay. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, and I will upload soon as possible the story about my life. And I would like to show you also the island where I grow, and to
yeah,
show you how the people way of living there.
yeah. Also, interview some of your friends, some of your
Mm,
single friends.
yes.
Okay, and then
I will also make an interview some of my friends, my gay friends, because I have a gay friends also. So I would
yeah.
like to make an interview to them.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Best of luck. Just keep making videos. Don't get discouraged, because it's going to take a while before the
Mm,
YouTube algorithm picks you up. Okay, they
yes.
do that. They do that on purpose. They want to make sure that
Yes.
Sharon is a real passionate vlogger, because if you're not,
Mm,
you're going to get discouraged.
yes.
But there's a lot of content here in the Philippines. Number one. Number two, the Philippines is one of the most popular subjects on
Mm,
YouTube. You got that
yes,
going for you.
exactly.
Number three, you're a very attractive woman. You got
Thank
all of this
you.
stuff going for you. You have to use it.
Mm,
Okay?
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But take care. And I'm going to check on your channel in the next few days. I want to see that video.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
everybody say
Okay, thank you
goodbye.
for having me here. Thank you. God bless.
Okay? Take care, Sharon.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again. Yeah, guys. Let's support her channel. We need more Filipino vloggers giving us the nitty gritty. Hell, she told us that's the first time I ever heard somebody get on here and talk about the bad things that Filipinos do. They usually sugarcoat it. But they want to talk about one more thing I want to say is a lot of guys said, hey, you need to give Kevin Samuels a shout out for using that Big Shirley terminology. I'm sorry, man. Listen, Big Shirley terminology has been around a whole way before Kevin Samuels ever came on the scene. And I'm not trying to disrespect him. Okay, we've been using that for years and years. Okay, she comes from what's happening, and she's just a big, tough, loud, and didn't take no bull off nobody. This is what the Big Shirley was. And this is what we talk about when we say Big Shirley. Okay, I know he kind of introduced her to the younger crowd because he had a lot of young guys, a lot of young followers and stuff. But yeah, that's old guys, that Big Shirley. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as famous as he was an icon, guys. Don't get me wrong. But I never watched one of his videos. You know why? Because he wasn't talking to me. I'm already over here. I'm a free black man over here. I'm a free and American guy over here. He wasn't talking to me. Any of his subjects wouldn't have even resonated with me because I'm already living the life that he's trying to encourage people to live. But I never watched one. I didn't know who he was until maybe, I'm going to say 6 months ago, believe it or not. And this guy was a phenomenon. I mean, really. And, may he rest in peace. But yeah, the sugar contract is when you put everything in the Filipinos' name. And that's what we do when we come over here. Um, but there's ways around it if you don't want to sign the sugar contract. You can rent. Okay. But either way it goes, most of us, when we leave with nothing. I've got a friend who he signed a sugar contract. Him and his wife, well, he's not really a friend. I met him several times. He lived right around the corner from me before we moved over here. Him and his wife, they live in Jacksonville, Florida now, and they're still trying to sell their house. Okay, they're still trying to sell that house that they built a nice, beautiful house here in St. Carlos City, and they're still trying to sell it. So when you're going to leave with nothing, basically over here, some of the drawbacks of a sugar contract is you're at her disposal, really. A friend of Marilyn's, she broke up with her former husband because he found a younger woman. And he wanted her to sell the house and lot and split the money down the middle. He was willing to just take 50%. She said, no, this is for my kids. Our kids, rather, because they have children together. I'm not selling the house. I'm using this for my kids' future. So there's nothing he can do about it. But yeah, you can rent if you want to. But anything you buy over here, you basically, if you decide, hey, I'm going to go back to America like the guy did here. Him and his wife, they lived in St. Carlos City for 10 years, and they decided to move to Jacksonville, Florida. It's a lot of stuff he left behind that they're still trying to get rid of. But that's just one of the negatives about signing a sugar contract. Well, he says, Travis Gibson, this is a good question, believe it or not. He said, why is that necessary? Why is a lot of the things we do over here necessary? We do stuff. The Filipino doesn't even ask us to do it. We do it on our own for different reasons. See, I built this house and everything for Marilyn and the kids. I didn't do it for me. I never done it for me because I could have rented. But I just wanted to give you an example of a sugar contract. She's your sugar. She's your honey. She's your sweetie, your girlfriend, whether it's your wife or your fiance or just your girlfriend. We put everything in her name over here. Hey, thanks, Quintessential One. He said, peace and prosperity to the family. Thanks, Cal. He said, why would anybody sign a sugar contract? They do that in Japan. Because we come over here and we fall in love. It's sweet for the Filipinas, but that's about it. For the rest of us, you got to know you're going to leave with nothing when you sign that sugar contract. There's no guarantees it's ever going to work out. And if it doesn't, oh well, don't invest any more than you can't walk away from. So when guys over here building these big McMansions and buying these fancy cars and stuff, for the girlfriends, man, just be cognizant of that. It's going to take a lot of time and money to get out of those sugar contracts. He says, can foreigners not own property? Yeah, we can own property. You can buy a condominium. That would be a way to get around the sugar contract. Or like the guy was talking about, the corporations. But most of us, I just wanted you guys to know what it was, because we come in and we do it automatically. Okay. And then Manila Martin says, if you have money, any age is okay. My friend was 72 and married a 28-year-old woman. Yeah. Now, PR said those sugar contracts is a mother. You got to do what you got to do, I guess. Yeah, see, we get over here, see, and that's the thing about doing your research. You may want to move to a country where a sugar contract is not necessary. And there's other places, but when you want to move to the Philippines, you got to know that sugar contract is waiting for you. But there's ways around it. You don't have to build a house here. You don't have to buy land or anything like that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The money that I've spent, the 30,000 or whatever it is that I've spent on this little compound around here, it's one of the best investments I've ever made. But I'll never see a penny of it. See? Because that's a sugar contract. But I don't care. I can walk away from that. And, even if I die, she's set up. So whatever reason you do it, whether it's love, lust, or whatever it is, just know that the sugar contract is only sweet for the Filipinos. It's not sweet for you. He said, Rilla said, yeah, condos are the way to go. Yeah, see, you can own a condominium here, and it'll be in your name. But don't say what you won't do 8,000 miles away. The Filipina doesn't ask you to do all this stuff, guys. We do it on our own. See, we come over here and we fall in love. And then all of a sudden, we want to give her the world. And the sugar contract is where it all starts. This is a great analogy. He says the sugar contract is like gambling. Only put in what you can afford to lose, see? Or avoid it altogether. Stay single. Rent. Buy your condominium. Tokyo, Japan says that CSL Worldwide, I know guys living in Japan 27 years and everything is in his wife's name. He still hasn't gotten citizenship. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Go to a country. If you're worried about the sugar contract over here, you may want to go to a country where a sugar contract is not necessary, where you can actually own land. Because it's in full force over here. And there's a lot of guys, they've lost everything dealing with them sugar contracts. And this is a fact right here. He says she'll never know how much money you have unless you tell her. And that's what we do. We brag. The Filipinos not going to tell you anything about her. Even when you ask her, it's going to be like pulling teeth trying to get information from her. But we steadily talking. Oh, I earn $5,000 every month, and I own this over there, I own that. Here's who I was in America, and here, I trust you, and I tell you, that Filipino tune-up is like a truth serum. They inject us with that thing, man, and we won't stop till we done lost every damn thing. That's a fact. But yeah, guys, it can be pretty disastrous. King B says, Booby deserves to have a house over her head if something happens to Calvin. Yeah, and you're exactly right. And that's why I did it, but it was still a sugar contract. And that's all I'm just trying to let people know, because everybody always asks me, well, what is it? It's when you put everything in the Filipino's name. That's the sugar contract. Jay Tom says, rent, lease until the relationship is old, deep, and crusty. Then maybe buy, build, maybe. Yeah, but the problem is us. See, we'll say what we won't do all the way over there, but the minute she's standing in front of you, because I'm going to tell you something. There's no competition over here for you, really. Once you come over here and you get with the Filipino of your choice, There's no competition, but that's our Western thinking. We think there is. So I'm just gonna buy her. I'm gonna sign this contract. And then he's saying that the Filipinos 50%, but I've got a friend, Rock Harmon. I'm gonna have to ask him because he owns a condo in Makati. I'm gonna have to ask him what that is. Hey, Charles Butler says, like Kenny Rogers in The Gambler, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Man, the Filipino just does something. She's got our whole card, man. She knows what buttons to push. She's crafty, man. These women, man, somebody call them smooth operators. I have to agree, man. That's smooth, man. They'll get you, man, if you're not careful. Hey, Charles Holiday said, even Cal, I like the interview. Yeah, thanks, man. I try to help Filipino vloggers get off the ground any way I can, man. YouTube is brutal. It just takes so much luck and so much timing and just everything to get discovered on YouTube, to even get near that algorithm. So I try to help them because people help me. Jacob Chanje says, yeah, we're terrible poker players. Yeah, that's right. And that's a great analogy. We are. Because a lot of you guys have never been over here. You tough guys online, but when you get over here and because you don't know what's waiting for you. You never had what's waiting for you over here. You never even seen it before. If you did, if you see the long flowing hair, it's usually fake. If you see the perfect skin, it's usually a damn filter. This stuff is real, man. When you get over here and you see, like I said, I thought she was 22, she was 18, man. I'd have did anything for that woman, man. And then she said those magic words, you can do whatever you want to me. What kind of crazy stuff is that? I had to hear that again. I said, what did you say? Stylish over 60 said, Calvin, it's really simple. Whatever choices you make, do it with both eyes open and be willing to live with that decision. Yeah. Just, a guy said it, just, it's like gambling. Just, lose what you can afford. It says, Calvin, is there any type of Filipino that dates at all? We're so used to sampling before going in all the way. Man, I tell you, it's for her, it's competitive. For you, it's not. For her, it's a competition, guys. If you were to listen to Jim on the True Channel, she said, we were talking about the sexy clothes they wear over here. Filipinos, they wear some sexy stuff, whether they know it or not. A lot of times it's just all they got. But whatever it is, she said, no, we're competing against the other Filipina to look sexier, to look prettier. So they already know the game, man. It's going to be, it's like on the job training. You play as you go and you pay as you go. So yeah, it's not much dating going on over here unless you're a Filipino man. Then yeah, they do the courting, the old-fashioned courting game, where it may take him 6 months just to get a damn kiss. But for you, you're gonna get it the minute you get off the plane. Efren Dunlap says, yeah, telephone tough guys. I know exactly what you're saying, Cal. Yeah, some of them, man, and a lot of them watching my channel. I put the true girls on here. I usually erase these live streams on StreamYard after I'm over with, but I kept those two because it really shocked me, man. Some of the guys who come on here and they talk tough, they melt it, man, like butter in their hand. DJ Lloyd Buck says, right on, how's the dating scene in the Philippines? Dating is cool, serious relationship, nah. Philippines want a commitment, man. Look, all right, I'm just telling you guys, unless you go to the bar, the regular Filipino wants a commitment. She wants it online. Really. He said, so is it okay to have wandering eyes? No. They'll poke you in the eye with a damn needle over here. You better wear some good sunglasses. Okay. Well, there's no divorce over here, Charles, that I know of. There's an annulment that the majority of Filipinos can't afford. So they'll separate and go their separate ways, but they'll stay married. But divorce is illegal in the Philippines right now. They haven't made it legal yet. This is a very religious, very conservative country. And, you know, they got their own rules over here. We can't change the Philippines. The Philippines will change you. But divorce, no, it's not, you know, like in America or anywhere like that. Cosboy said, Calvin, bro, I hear what you're saying, but when it comes to a house and land, I have to protect myself. Can't put it in my girlfriend's name. Yo, well, don't come over here then. But there is some things you can do, Cosboy, to get around that. You can rent, you can lease, buy a condo, stay single. But most of us sign the sugar contract. We build these nice houses over here. I buy these nice houses, and we put it all in the Filipinos' name. Because we trust her for some reason where we trust her the way we don't even trust ourselves. Let's see what Robert Dane, thank you, brother, for being on the panel the other day. Appreciate your time. He said, we spend 9 months waiting to get out and the rest of our lives trying to get back in. I know what you're talking about, brother. David S., thanks for that super chat. He said, Calvin, yesterday's interview was funny. Surprised to see 65 years and above guys stating that they are celibate. What for? Can you explain? Well, that's the Big Shirley syndrome. It's become fashionable, David, to be celibate over there. Really. I mean, remember, I'm on the outside looking in now. I'm really out of touch with what's going on in America. That would have never worked in my day growing up. You got talked about if you wasn't getting any. Now they put you on a damn pedestal. Now it's a badge of honor. The longer you go without it, I guess the higher on the totem pole you get in this men's world over there. I don't get it. But yeah. But the bottom line is we just started playing the games that they got us playing over there. They got us jumping through hoops, turning flips. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They got us doing all kinds of stuff over there. And guys are like, I'm not going to do it. But I tell you what, man, y'all got crackheads over there. I would go out there and get me a crackhead for $5 before I go without. I ain't going to lie. I'm sorry. King Arthur says, Calvin asked Buck, will he start a lawnmower business in the Philippines? Yeah, he's going to be competing against people. They cut grass with scissors over here, believe it or not. And the bigger the land is, then they'll get a weed eater. I've never seen a lawnmower over here. I'm sure they've got them, but I've never seen one. But like a little yard that I've got now, I help her. If I told her to cut the grass, she'd go out there with a pair of scissors. I'm talking about regular scissors, not shears, scissors. So when you come over and you see that, don't stare at it. Just keep going. You know, Because I done already told you it's over here. But Buck's one of those guys that I was apologizing to. It's a lot of guys, man, they got sensitive on me. I think Texas is Zoe. I think Rudy. We don't try to ridicule nobody, man. We're just on here having fun. We're not trying to offend anybody, man. This is a community, man. It's a support group, but guys are sensitive now. You can't say anything, and then they start talking among themselves. Then next thing you know, they disappear off the live stream. Because believe it or not, somebody told me, said, hey, man, where's Rudy? I'd like to have him on the live stream. I want to ask about Bitcoin and this and that. Well, hell, me and Rudy were Facebook friends, and we used to chat every single day on Messenger. I sent him a message the other day. I said, hey, man, did I say anything to make you, to offend you? I said, I haven't heard from you. He read the damn message and didn't reply. So I guess I did. So I don't know. But that's not our purpose on here, guys. But hey, if you guys want to be, get offended so easy, don't try to start a YouTube channel. That's a fact, because you can't take it. Imagine what I deal with. Imagine if I was as sensitive as some of the guys that come on here, guys. Don't do it then. Tony P said, DJ, no divorce in the Philippines, indeed. But a foreign man married to a Filipino can get divorced outside, and that divorce will be recognized here. Filipinos would then be able to marry again. That's one of the reasons why I got married in America. Because I didn't want anything to hold her back in the event it didn't work. Okay, he said crackheads cost $50 now. Well, I don't know what kind of crackheads you dealing with. I could go if I got on a plane right now and flew to America, I could get a $5, head job. Or hell, maybe $3, depending on what time of night it is. Shit, don't tell me that crack is a bad boy. Talking about $50. Hell, you crazy. What kind of crackheads you dealing with? Harold Till said he came to a point where you're just not interested in chasing American women. I hear you on that, but like I said, I'll buy it first before I go out. Red John Rock says some guys can't perform at 65 for medical reasons. Yeah, and we're not talking about them, Red John Rock. We're talking about guys who are voluntarily going without sex. One guy says, my character, and I'm just not going to put up with the women. Whatever, but when they voluntarily do it. We're not talking about, because some guy said, well, Nelson Mandela did it, but hell, he did it involuntarily. And then when he got out, it was too late. Winnie Mandela was fooling around on his butt. He couldn't do nothing. So no. We're talking about people who voluntarily do it, who aren't locked up, who aren't sick, who don't have medical reasons. There's guys over there now. I'll show you women. I can hold on. I don't need you. Well, I don't want that kind of life. That's why I came over here. He says, inflation, Cal, is $20 on Figueroa in Los Angeles. Yeah. But hell, Los Angeles that ain't Louisville, Kentucky. I guarantee you, man, you let them women hit that pipe and they run out of money and the party's over. And you say, all I got is $7. They going for it. Marcus Alfred, thanks for that super chat. He says, I'm 31 and my wife is 32. Been with my Filipino queen for 11 years. I had a few ups and downs, not on her part, but she made me a better man. I hear you. Every relationship I had over here really was my fault. It could have easily worked. It was a lot of bad timing, but usually it was my fault. No, I haven't heard from Buck. He's one of those guys that Rasa Natty says, hey, Calvin, have you heard from Buck? Did they kidnap him over there? No, I think Buck is back in the States. But I think he's one of those guys that got offended by something that was said on the channel. Christopher Wolfgang says, you end up on CNN and YouTube trying to smash a crackhead in America. They watching and reporting everything over here. Life is over. Wow, you mean they'll cancel you for dealing with crackheads now? Y'all getting ridiculous over there. Coach Eastmore said, Calvin, you're the man. If you can't do it, nobody can. I know I can get me one for $5, man. Y'all going to the wrong crack houses. What you do, you stand outside the crack house at about 12 o'clock. When they come out there, their face is long, their lips is moving, they twitching. You can get it for $5. The Ghost of Pennsylvania 11 says, just give the crackhead a Snickers and a small bag of mashed up aspirin, but make sure they do the job before finding out it's not the right powder. Now, you ain't got to do that because I'm a crackhead, okay? I just don't use it anymore. That's the worst thing you can do to a crackhead is give them a fake. You know how much damn candle wax I've smoked? I'm down to my last $15 or $20. I'm fiending, and the guy either sells me a piece of drywall or candle wax. That shit pisses me off, man. I wouldn't do that to nobody. You know, so no, I'm not gonna do that, man. Ain't nothing like, you know, there you are, your whole life depends on the whole night. You shaking the pipes hot and you hit the fire and it's a damn piece of drywall. No, I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy, man. Be able to say crackheads need love too. You damn right. Scamper Steven said, Cal, if you see my ex-wife, you wouldn't want to knock around with yours either. She wouldn't turn on any man. Oh, his ex-wife. He said you wouldn't want to fool around with her. Well, I tell you what, if you really get that bad, guys, you're gonna hit something. That's where the big Shirley in the flesh comes in. We should go to this place in Louisville called the Bus Stop. This was the last house on the left when it was a hole in the wall, and they didn't even sell beer in a can. They sold 40-ounce bottles, and that's where all the big Shirleys went to. You was gonna get a piece that night. He said, I don't think they're doing much crack anymore. Yeah, they are. Shit, they smoking crack. Crack ain't gonna never go out of style. He said, crackhead 101, Calvin never changed. Yeah, I just don't use, because my kids used to ask me, see, when I made that video, I would have paid anything, to get out of this living hell. I didn't abandon my kids. I actually raised my two youngest daughters until they were adults. I left a bad marriage, but I used to go to meetings every day. And, after about 10 years, my daughter's like, Daddy, why you still go to those meetings? And I said, yeah, because if I smoke a piece of crack right now, it's going to do me the way it always did. And they said, well, just a little piece. I said, yeah, just a piece where just to make the pipe sizzle would drive me crazy. So that's why I got to stay away from it. Abstinence, guys. But yeah. So I'm always going to be a crackhead. I just not using it. Crack is always going to do to me what it always did. Alcohol is going to do to me what it always did. I haven't gotten stronger. I've just built up a defense against it. I got support group. I got meetings. I got people out here I'm helping. But if I put one in me, man, I'm on a run. Hey, Butcher, once a guy's working through Calvin, he has a purpose. Keep it up, Cal. Yeah, man, and that's part of my defense mechanism. He says, TJ says, what are your opinion on the manosphere, the red pill content? I don't really listen to it because remember, I'm over here now. If I was in America, I'd probably be right there on the front row. But because they're not speaking to me and my reality, it doesn't pertain to me. It doesn't really, I'm not interested. I think it's too tough a lot of times. Now, the part where they say, let the man be the man and be at the head of the household, yeah, I agree with that. But all that other crazy stuff, man, I got to leave that to the manosphere, TJ. Because hell, you'll get on a plane every month or whatever and get your feel and get that situated. You ain't part of that manosphere stuff. There's Booby again. Hey, Boob. But yeah, I'm really not hip to it because I left America about the time when it really started, getting up there. I never heard of Kevin Samuels, believe it or not, till about 6 months ago. Hey, Booby. Hey, James, he said he just tuned in. Good to see you, brother. Christopher Wolfgang said, my ex-Filipino coworker told me he smoked crack in high school. I looked at him like, what did you say? Yeah. Man, crack is still out here. Don't think it's not. There's a lot of guys getting paid. Yeah, Cosboy said, see, this is what I'm talking about. He said after 6 months in the desert in the Gulf War, any woman was a 10 when I saw one. So I don't understand what kind of mechanism you guys have built up to where you can go all that long without sex, man. Rilla said, Cal, you definitely red pill. You just don't know it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm ignorant of this stuff, Rilla. You're probably right. W Secrets is successful. I said, Cal, you have gotten stronger because you have found a way to stay away from it. Yeah, that's my defense. But I'm no stronger against crack cocaine. Once I ingest it than I was 24 years ago when I stopped. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. I'm not cured of my alcoholism and drug addiction. I've got a daily reprieve contingent on my spiritual maintenance, man. So as long as I continue to help people, as long as I don't put one in me, I'm going to be fine. But the minute I put one in me, man, I'm no stronger now than I was. Probably worse. It's probably going to do me worse. But yeah, let's talk about the sugar contract, guys, and what we can do to save ourselves from it. First of all, you don't have to sign that contract. That's your number one defense against the sugar contract is don't do it. Because the Filipinos not going to ask you to do it. But we want to come over here and we want to build a house. Well, you can't own land over here. So you got to put the land in the Filipinos' name. And then, you're not going to want a hard lawyer. So you're just going to say, to keep it simple, honey, just put everything in your name. Scalper Stevens said, Cal, hopefully all this talk about crackhead stuff may give some of them, I guess he's saying may inspire some of them to give up. Well, see, that's what we do, but believe it or not, until somebody's ready, until you surrender, all I'm really doing is blowing your high. If I go in the crack house and start talking about recovery, man, people, it's going to blow their high. They got to come out of there and want it like I did. Because people used to say that to me all the time. Why don't I just stop? R68 DV. I said, Cal, he said, Sunshine Shows, I'm red pill. It took me a long time to even understand the blue pill, red pill stuff. DJ Lloyd Buck says, how much does fun with a bar girl cost a regular guy? I think probably about, I would say, remember we had this talk before. And Sammy Davis, he was in Angleton City. He said there's levels to that. He said you get the freelancer, then you get the bars that are away from Walking Street, then you got Walking Street. It's probably the same as it is in Thailand. When I was over at Soy 6, man, you can get a woman, believe it or not, man, the bar fan was 300 baht. I was like shocked. That's like about $9 right now. And then 1,000 baht, which would be about $25 or something like that. Not $30 for the woman, but that's just short time. They take you upstairs in the bar. Because all these bars got stairs you go up, and they got rooms up there. They'll give you the little shower, and then, you know, you do your business and come on down like nothing ever happened. He said, how did I get off of it? What encouraged me? I just hit my bottom, man. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. You know, it wasn't the way I was raised. I started meddling. That's how I got in trouble in the beginning. Like, what are y'all hitting over there? What's it taste like? And the guy told me, he said, man, you don't want to try this. But me, I'm hard-headed. And, you know, even the first time I smoked crack, it didn't do nothing to me. But once it did, it was all over. But that's all it was, man. I just got tired, man, of being broke and just being miserable. And I went from being the guy most likely to succeed to a crackhead. And people used to see me that I went to school with and everything. They walked right by me. They didn't know who I was. And then when I got sober and turned my life around, they would walk past me and didn't recognize me either. Tariq Campbell, what's up, brother? Yeah, he's over here in the Philippines. Now, this is a guy, believe it or not, he's an inspiration for a lot of you younger guys. A lot of you guys are saying, hey, can I come over here before I retire? What can I do? Go to this man's channel, man. He's got some solutions. Because one of my next videos is going to be called The Solution. We always talk about Big Shirleyism and the problems over there, but we never talk about the solution. So one of my next upcoming videos is going to be on The Solution. That's what it's going to be called. What can I do to get away from that? It's enough to just be talking about it. You know, what kind of plan did you have to get out of there? Tariq Campbell says, DJ Lord Buck, the bar fan now is between 3,500 to 4,000, but the key is to meet outside the bar where the price goes from 1,000 to 1,500. And sometimes if they like you, they won't charge you. Now, he's boots on the ground in Angleton City. You getting this straight from the horse's mouth, guys. And yeah, the Filipino tune-up is like crack. It's going to get you addicted. The Philippines itself is addicting, man. I made a video about it. It's true. When I first got over here in April of 2009, I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in Moncton. We were at a place called Tamboli Beach Resort, me and a woman. And I was out there, we're swimming, and this guy from, where was he from? Austria. He was drunk. He had the beer in the damn ocean drinking. He said, young man, is this your first time over here? I said, yeah. He said, you're going to get addicted to this place. You're going to come back over and over and over. And I was like, yeah, whatever, man. That long-ass plane ride, I'm shot. Man, he was telling the truth. I came back within 2 months. I was back over here. And I couldn't stay away longer than 2 months. I've never stayed longer than 2 months away from this place. It's addicting, man. Once you take a hit off this, man, you better be careful. Sullivan's Irish Pub, Balibago, Philippines says, I live in Angleton City. It's about 2,000 pesos, but out on the street, a freelancer can cost you as low as 500 pesos. And see, these guys are boots on the ground. Thank y'all for chiming in, by the way. when I was down in Zamboanga City, one of my wife's best friends that she grew up with was, became a streetwalker. And she said, yeah, it's about 500 pesos. Some as low as 300. I've heard as low as 200 pesos, which is about right now less than $4. Yeah, see, that's the hope that I give people. Brandon, he said, yeah, but Calvin, look at you now, brother, and straight up muse, I guess he's to 40,000 men all over the world. That's the hope shot that I give people. See, but the fact that I'm not cured keeps me humble. I'm not going around beating my chest, say, hey, look at me, I got 24 years. See, I don't do that. I only tell people about my recovery and everything when they have a need to know. You guys follow my channel. You have a need to know. It's not like I go and tell people over here when they say, hey, they passed me the beer. I said, no, not today, man. I'm not drinking today. And that's about the extent of it. But yeah, you're right, man. We let our light shine, so to speak, so that other people can see that, it works. If you work it, it's going to work if you don't work it. This ain't going to work for you. TJ says, is Negroes relatively safe from typhoons or earthquakes? Well, typhoons, yeah. We had the first typhoon about 25 years. Earthquakes, not so much, because it was a bad earthquake in Bohol, which is right over from here. I don't know. I've never heard of an earthquake over here, but I felt one in Cebu. The Philippines sits right on that Pacific Rim, man. It's got some volatile weather over here. So it's very important that you do your research about the area that you're visiting or you're trying to live in. Okay. But it's a lot of places here that really don't get a lot of natural disasters. St. Carlos City, even though Typhoon Odette hit here, it didn't hit here as bad as it did in Cebu. But remember, nature is everywhere, guys. It's not, we're on the same earth. We're just on a different part of the earth, but hell, talk to the people in Oklahoma and Texas over there about bad weather, man. You can't run away from that kind of stuff. You just got to keep your eyes and ears open. Hey, thanks, Quintessential One, for the super chat. He said, Calvin, you a gentleman and our scholar, my brother. Thank you. Man, thank you, man. This is how I was raised to be, really. I'm just my normal self now. When I was out there in the street, that wasn't who I was. I had become somebody else. They talk about that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of thing, Yeah, and see, that's what it's all about. In certain things, if I can do it, you can, because I'm not unique, guys, for real. That's why I tell y'all my story, because I know there's somebody sitting on the other side of the camera who's probably going through or has been through what I'm going through. I'm not from outer space either. Harold Till said, my drug was the military. That's all I ever wanted to be, was a soldier. If you have one of those impulsive personalities or addictive personalities, man, be careful when you come over here, because it's certainly addictive, man. I mean, there's nothing like what's going on over here. He says, exactly, I would never be able to tell that you had taken that before, Calvin. You look too healthy. Yeah, 24 years, man. It's a long time. And I did it one day at a time. That's the only way you can do it. I remember I was talking to a guy. He did 10 years in a prison, in a penitentiary. And, man, that seems like an eternity. I was like, man, how did you do 10 years in a prison? He said, I did it one day at a time, man. It's the only way I could do it. He did 10 years, man. No, man. He said, W Secret Success said, Cal, now you just have to build up your monk mode tolerance. I'm going to tell you, this is a fact. I can't go 8 hours with it. But just like Marilyn was honest with me in the beginning, I was honest with her in the beginning. And any woman I deal with, I said, look, I've got a high sex drive. If you can't handle it, don't even get involved with me. Because I want it when I want it. And if you can't deal with it, then, don't even get involved because it's not going to work. We live under this premise right now, me and Merlin. I'll do anything for you if you do anything for me. When you stop doing anything for me, or it gets to the point where it's not anything, it's whenever you get in the mood, then it's probably not going to work. That's the only fair exchange I see. Leo said, Calvin has found his life. It's a nice house, bro. Yeah, thanks, man. And it might not be the Philippines for you. It might be Brazil. I had Razor Rays on here the other day. He likes it down in Cartagena, which, man, if you're just after women and nice beaches, I was there, but hell, it was 40 years ago. I'm sure it's changed, but I'm sure them women are still beautiful. Infinite loop is 8 hours. No, that's a fact. I'm sure. We're on a schedule, man. Of course, when you go to bed, because see, Filipinas, and even this is what Marilyn told me. She says, we don't do it in the daytime. We do it at night. And I said, well, I'm going to change that. But she's just telling me the facts. But yeah, so at night, yeah, that's when when you go to bed. But no, when I get up and then somewhere between 12 and 2, I've got to have it again. That's just it. And James can probably bear witness to this. See? And that's what he's talking about. See? Yeah, we're going to break out the grill. Here's the crazy thing about it. I had bought me a set of tools. Well, actually, Sam Champion sent me some tools. But her brother took the damn tools. I guess he thought they were his. When he was building the guest house and the fence, he took all the tools. So we need a screwdriver, a wrench, a socket wrench, and pliers to put that together. So I got to go get that today. Hybrid says, 7-11 said, thanks for teaching what the Pacific Rim is, Cal. It's some volatile weather over here. Just look it up, and the Philippines is right on it. And that's why I always tell guys, man, don't come over here playing games with people over here. They go through so much already. They don't need the petty shit you bringing over here. They going through hurricanes, typhoons, floods, landslides, all kind of stuff over here already. And then you want to bring that bullshit over here that you're bringing lying and just the pettiness, man. Don't do it, guys. Just have a little decency. That's consideration. Just consider where you are. That's why I say don't ever forget where you are at all times when you're in the Philippines. That's one thing that's going to make you successful over here. When you see people over here and you get that urge to want to argue with them or, be like, oh, and, you want to fight over a peso or two. Remember, you're in the Philippines and you'll be like, oh, man, here, man, take it. That's how it was in Manila. Because I'm going to tell you, I was this close to going back to the crack house on that guy, man. He talked real crazy to me. But I looked at him and I was like, this fool's been up all night. I didn't know if he was high, if he just was out there trying to hustle to make ends meet. But when he took that 100, because I was just right up the street, he took the 100 pesos I gave him, balled it up and threw it on the ground, man, and asked me for an extra 100. And I thought about it. I said, man, here, take 200, man. And, but I got him good because, real religious over here. I said, your God's going to get you for that. And man, you should have saw the look on his face. It scared the daylights out of him. Because there's a word over here that you never want to say. It's Yahweh. And that's the curse word. It's really a curse word, not a cuss word. It's a curse word. And you say that to somebody over here, man, they liable to shoot you. R68 DVR says that Sunshine Shoulders, Cartagena's not changed. It's off the chain. Yeah, it was then. But one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen, I met in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And she wasn't really a bar girl or prostitute. It was just so much money in Brazil at that time. I was on the USS John F. Kennedy. It was a carrier. It had 6,000 men coming into Rio de Janeiro. They bust women in from all over South America just to feed our appetite. We spent $20 million US in 4 days over there. And she was part of it. She was the most beautiful woman. Probably, I don't know if I'll ever be with another woman that beautiful. But she was a school teacher. And she was just there to get the extra money. She said, I can earn more money in the 4 days you guys are going to be here than I'll earn for the whole year. Let that sink in, guys. And that's why I've got respect for women who work in the bars and stuff like that, because you don't know why they're in there. You don't know who they are. All bar girls aren't the same. And they're not in there, for the same reason. Some are human traffic. Some are in there because that's all they can do for a living. Some are in there hustling, saying, hey, this is free money. It's easy money. I'm going to lay on my back anyway. I might as well get money for it. Brandon Bonner says, at least some head at noon. But you got to understand, guys. No, not that Yahweh. No. It's this Yahweh. It means something totally different. Not Yahweh or whatever. It's this. Don't ever say this word over there. Over here. And my son's mother taught me that. Because I asked, I said, because see, when I was talking about a curse word, I was talking about like, damn, shit, fuck, like that. But see, she took me literally. And that's what will happen over here when you're talking to Filipinos. They speak a proper English. Curse. She was talking about curse. Yahweh. Don't ever say that to anybody. See, this is great, man. This is what I suggest to guys. Get your woman feel health. If you don't get her nothing else, it's going to save you a lot of money. When Booby was born, they stayed in the hospital for 7 days. That included room, board, all the doctor's fees, the food, everything, delivery, everything. I paid 16,000 pesos. If you want to know what that is right now, today, I'll show you. That would be, I'll show you how much money that is. 16,000 divided by, what is it, 55.6 today. $287 because she had field health. Now, my son, Gabriel, that was born premature down in Zamboanga, she didn't have field health. I don't even think I knew about field health then. It cost us about 350,000 pesos, which I didn't have. I only had about 300,000. I had to go home. It was a Filipino man that gave me the other 50,000. It cut my trip short because I thought it was going to be, because my first son, he was born, it was only 17,000 in Cebu, in a private doctor and everything. It was only 17,000. I'm thinking, okay, I got another 17,000. I planned on staying in the Philippines for that whole year however long the 350,000 last in 2012, hell, I had to get on the next train smoking, man. T-Man 57 said, "Hey, brother Cal, thanks for the tip on the stranger's secret. Success, progressive realization of a worthy idea." It's a powerful video. It's only like, I only think it's 30 minutes long. But that's the stuff I live by. Going the extra mile. Yeah, Tokyo, Japan. He said, "Tell them, Calvin, I've seen women humiliate themselves to feed their children." But we come from a mindset where we think everything's the same around the world as it is where we come from. But it's not, especially if you're an American, man. We have some bad indoctrination over there. We're only 4% of the population, guys, the Earth's population. But we think the Earth is 100% American. It's not. We want to control 100% of the narrative, man. It just don't work. Yeah, never say Yahweh to anybody in here, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you, because, see, they're very superstitious over here. When you start doing stuff like that, because I remember me and my wife, we were in Manila, and we had went, across from Mall of Asia. They've got this strip now. They got the big Ferris wheel, all the nightclubs and different things. And we went to eat dinner over there, and at the end of the night, we were out on the street to catch the taxi back to the hotel, where there was another couple, a Filipino couple next to us. We were in line. So the next taxi, they were supposed to get the taxi. But he saw me as a foreigner. He went around them and came right to us. And oh, man, they hit him with Yahweh. They hit him with all kinds of stuff, man. And he was scared to death. TJ said, "How's the transitioning language-wise? Have you learned Tagalog or just know the basics?" Well, where I live, it's Bisaya. Okay, it's not Tagalog. But they know Tagalog, but they speak Bisayan. Okay, so I don't know not one word. Magandang umaga is probably the only Tagalog I know. That's because it's like good morning or something. But we speak Bisaya, man. My Bisaya is getting so much better. But remember, when they're speaking it, it's so fast, it's hard for you to catch it. But when you know the basics, you may hear one or two words and you can kind of piece it together to know what they're talking about. But I've given myself a year to be basically fluent and be able to join into the conversation. It's been about 4 months. I'm a whole lot better, because I'm gonna tell you something. When you first get over here, it's gonna drive you crazy, man, because language to me is the eighth wonder of the world. Self-expression is one of the keys to happiness, man. One of the true riches of life. And when you over here and you can't understand what people are saying, man, it knocks you for a loop over here. That's why I have a whole different respect and understanding for immigrants. We call them immigrants in America, not foreigners. When I see them, I know what they're dealing with. When you can't understand what people are saying, man, it drives you crazy. You're just sitting there and it's just going all over your head. Thanks, Sane Ozzy, for the super chat. Yeah, here's one that I knew this one. Mahal Kita. It means I love you. But they, I don't even know if they can say I love you. The crazy thing about here is when I speak Bisayan to them, they speak English back to me. So it's kind of hard. Robert Dane said, "Men here need Big Shirley insurance." Now you need to get the hell out of there. You need to make a plan. I had a 4-year plan. And I know 4 years seems like a long time, but it's really not. And then start walking toward that plan. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about how you're going to do it. We spend too much time worrying about how. Just know that you're going to do it and start working toward it. And before you know it, man, you're already there. Once you get started, you're halfway finished, guys. This is true. Coach East Moore said, Calvin, what do you eat over there? Some of the food looks very different. I want somebody to make chicken noodle soup today. And he said, I watched somebody make chicken noodle soup over there today. It was not attractive. That's because you didn't have the right person make it. Maryland can make some chicken soup, but it's not chicken noodle soup, man. It'll make you bite your tongue. But people always talk about the Philippines and their food. And I'm going to tell you why. See, the Philippines, unless you go to some place like Manila, Cebu, where it's diverse, what you're going to get is Filipinos wherever you go. It's not like Thailand that has all that international cuisine, or in America where you go to LA and they've got Mexican food, they got Guatemala, African, and all that. See, when you come to the Philippines, you don't get that variety. And so it makes people think, oh, the food here is not that good. That's not true. Man, it all depends on who's cooking it. That's what it really boils down to. Because there's only so much you can do with beef, chicken, pork, and fish, and other different seafoods. But they've got delicious food over here. I eat it all now because it's the same. We had fish last night. It tastes better than the fish at home. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm right in the Midwest. Unless you go to one of these pay lakes or something like that and do your fishing, bring it home, clean it, and cook it, you're not getting fresh fish. You're going to get that frozen stuff. But over here, you get real fish. We don't have a real big refrigerator with a freezer full of frozen stuff. We basically buy food every day, fresh, especially the meat, the chicken, and all of that. Jim Crane says, very important point. An older Filipina is well grounded, connected, and can get things done. More than 25 years is really pushing it. Thanks again, Calvin. Important info. Yeah, and see that the lady, she co-signed what I was saying about Maryland. See, Maryland was the oldest woman I ever dealt with, but I'm older. As I've gotten older, I need a woman that can get things done, who's connected, who knows who to talk to, where to go to get. Okay, Maryland right now is taking one of my subscribers to the doctor. He says, hey, I need a good doctor. Well, I didn't know. I was just going to take him to the place I go. But Maryland said, no, I got a good doctor for you. And she's taking him already. She didn't have to do that. That's the type of woman I need right now. Okay. Luis Martinez says, since you've been in the Philippines, has your stomach gotten less sensitive and you eat local street vendor food? I don't eat a lot of street food anyhow. But I can say this, Luis, I've never been sick over here from the food, the water, anything. Now, have I touched the doorknob or something and got those cold-like symptoms? Yeah. I don't know if it's from that or just from changing climate, changing hemisphere, time zones, and all that stuff. But the food has never made me sick over here. The water's never made me sick. And I'm going to tell you something. I guess I've gotten used to it because when I was in Zamboanga when the lockdown first started, right, I'm living with my wife's family. And for about a whole month, I was drinking coffee every morning. Her mother was boiling me water for my coffee. It was tap water. And oh, man, I was like to hit the roof when I found out that's what she was doing. But you know, it didn't do me any harm. But I didn't keep on drinking it. But yeah, she was getting it straight from the tap, boiling it. So yeah, I've never gotten sick over here. The only thing I eat off the street is esau, and I have to have that cooked really, really well. And what that is chicken intestines. And I didn't know they even sold anything like that. See, when you get over here, you try stuff. You just try a few things. I didn't know how much I was going to like shrimp paste. And shrimp paste is delicious. I didn't know how, you put that on like, say for instance, you get, this is like sort of like what we do at home, but if they got green beans, my wife used to cut up a boiled egg, tomatoes, and then put a little shrimp paste on there, man. You talking about delicious? Yeah, it's delicious. You just try a few things until you like it. And that's what I did. And now I like a lot of stuff that I never even imagined I would like. Sweet macaroni? We're used to macaroni and cheese, but they got a macaroni salad over here, man. It's delicious. They make it with macaroni. They make it with, the cream and then condensed milk, mixed fruits, that you get the mixed fruits. And they mix it all up. They put mayonnaise in it. Man, it's delicious. No, gizzards aren't. No, it's different. These are actually chicken intestines like that, not gizzards. Gizzards are gizzards. Gizzards is a thing under here. But no, that's not chicken intestines. They're intestines, but they're crispy, and I won't let them put the barbecue sauce and the sweet sauce because they'll dip them in there, right? But they dip everybody's in there, so I don't do it. I said, no, just give me mine right off the grill, and I'll put hot sauce and soy sauce on mine. Afro Nation says, salute, big bro. Great interview with Double RR. Yeah, Razor Rays, man. I had him on my panel Tuesday, man. He's got a tough crowd, though, man. You guys are tough. But thank you. Yeah, pancit. It's some easy stuff over here you're going to like. Lumpia. That's like egg rolls. They're just not as big. You're going to like pancit, but they've got different type of pancit. They got the real thin noodles. They call that bihon. Gasada. And you can have it with chicken, pork, beef, whatever. And you can have the pancit canton. Those are the big noodles. Just easy stuff like that. And like I said, fish, chicken, and beef. Yeah, it's like a fruit salad. It's delicious. Yes, Coach Keith. He said, can we watch American sports like college football, the World Series? If you have the Fire Stick, but you can watch the Super Bowl, you can watch the NBA Finals, you can watch the championships here because they'll play it on TV. But like the regular season, no. You'd have to have one of those Fire Sticks. Yeah, see, this is what I don't like. Filipinos, they eat a lot of vinegar. And so I'm not too keen on vinegar. But they'll put vinegar in a lot of their sauces. Now, I like it in adobo. So you're going to like adobo. That's easy. They make a chicken adobo, pork adobo. It's delicious. You're going to like simple meals like that. But to say the Philippines doesn't have good food, what you're really saying is they don't have a whole variety like Thailand, like the United States, like different places, because even though the Philippines is diverse, it's not as diverse as these other places. So unless you're in Manila or Cebu or someplace like that, you're just going to get traditional Filipino dishes of that region. But to say it's not good food here, No, man, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not true. No, it's not chitlins. Well, I guess you could call them that. We call pork intestines chitlins. Yeah, the longanisa. Yeah, I like that. I like that with my pancakes. And they got some good longanisa. But I don't like the ones with the sauce on top of it. I love fish sauce. He says, I can't stand the smell of fish sauce they use. It smells like unwashed pookie. No, it's delicious though. And that's another thing I started eating over here was fish sauce. I never even knew it existed unless I watched the Anthony Bourdain special or something. But when I got over here, all I use is fish sauce on my fish and any seafood. I won't use soy sauce. I use fish sauce. It's delicious. It's just a little saltier than soy sauce. Uh, Alexander Neverman says vinegar is good for blood pressure and keeping your arteries clear. Lots of benefits of vinegar. But they surely eat it in a lot of their dipping sauces. They'll use vinegar, soy sauce, the chilies, because they like that spicy stuff. Yeah, the smell's awful. He says, no, thank you, I'll pass on the intestines. It's no different than eating. Everybody eats something crazy. The damn hot dogs. Long as it's already cooked before I look at it, I'll try it. W Secrets to Success, it says, that place in the mountains that your tennis buddy owns appeared to have good food. Well, it's not in the mountains. He lives in Calatrava. That's about a 10-minute ride from here. He's got good food. He cooks Western food. Those nachos are delicious. They're just like eating the ones at home with the chili and the cheese and the jalapeno peppers. Because when you get them in Mahawani or different places, the sauce is sweet. And then they've got mayonnaise that it's just a different nachos. But here's our American, he buys all his ingredients from like Bacala, Cebu. So, his chicken, he's got a nice cut of steak that he sells there. He's really got good food. Fermented fish sauce is made in shed, 100% worms. Well, I just get the fish sauce from the store. I don't get the fresh fish sauce, but I would try it anyway. Because, I didn't come over here. I wanted a new life, man. I wanted a new way of life. I wanted something different. If I wanted the same, I'd have just stayed at home. I'm not afraid of trying something new. I'm not going to eat balut, but, all the rest of that stuff, I've tried it. L. Lee says, good day, Calvin. Enjoy your show. Americans be closed-minded to the Asian cuisine. Well, we're closed-minded on a lot of things, man. We're narrow-minded, and that's on purpose. We've got some bad indoctrination. They say, we got the greatest country in the world and all that. Well, what country doesn't tell their citizens that? But we act like we don't want to try anything new, but America's made up of immigrants in different cultures. If you got Netflix, they've got a series called Street Foods. They've got a new one out now, Street Foods USA. They've got Street Foods Asia. And you go on there, man, you're going to see it. And it'll make you hungry. It'll make you want to come and try the stuff that's over here. But to say that the Philippines doesn't have good food, guys, that's not true. Yeah, the store sauce is okay. That's what I use, Will Rose. Um, Not that fermented stuff, but I tried. Everything is raised. The price of everything's gone up here. If you go in the grocery store, it's the prices are gonna be comparable to what it is in the United States, even higher. A dozen eggs here, guys, costs almost $2 for 12 eggs. In the Save More that I go to, it's 98 pesos. So when the peso was like 50, it was almost like $2. The bread here is a lot more expensive. It's 78 pesos. Yeah, I'm the same way. J. Tom, he says, never made sense for me to travel abroad just to eat hot dogs and French fries. And you're going to save a lot of money when you decide to start trying the local cuisine and the local foods. Just have your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your wife cook the stuff at home. In the short run, you're going to spend more money because you can go out in the street right now. They've got calendarias. These are little mom and pop restaurants. Hell, you could probably get a meal for 50 pesos. But you don't know who cooked it. You don't know how old it is. You don't know how long it's been out there. So in the long run, you'd probably be better off eating at home. Yeah, our food is so healthy. Says he said, I guess that's why we're some of the fattest and out of shape because our food is so healthy. Yeah, it's really not. RLV, he lives in the Philippines. I think he's Filipino. He said, my bread before was 52 pesos. Now it's 75. I buy the same thing every day. After this live stream, I got to go to buy the 1,200 peso boxes of groceries from Save More that I do every week. And the biggest jump that I seen of anything over there was the creamer for the coffee. It used to be 75 pesos. It jumped all the way up to 95 pesos. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe it was more in the pack or I'm getting the wrong size pack. No, it's the same. It went up 20 pesos, man. I couldn't believe it. He says that eggs are $4 here. Wow. Do y'all have a Kroger? Well, you remember now, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm in the Midwest. Hell, you should get a dozen eggs, and this is in 2018 for 99 cents, which would be, he lives in, Coach East lives in Orlando, Florida. He says a dozen eggs here is $5.59. Shoot, that's 50 cents an egg. Louise says, with inflation going up, has the flow of tourism started picking up or is it still low? Well, remember I told you guys, wait till about 6 months, it's going to start slowing down. And it really has, guys, because it's always really slow over here. Of all the countries in Southeast Asia, the Philippines is toward the bottom. You're talking about 8 million pre-pandemic per year, 2019. Thailand was 49 million. I don't know. People just, for whatever reason, they don't come here like I think they should. Because they always say, oh, it's not family friendly. That's bull. That's crap, man, because the Philippines is a family-oriented place. You're not going to get more family than you get here. It's just a lot of the myths, innuendos, and stuff that keep people away, especially the kidnapping and all of that. It's just not true. But we tend to believe the worst of everything. But it never was you can go to places pre-pandemic when it was fully open, Louise, and you would be the only one on the whole beach. When I first went to Bentine Island, we were the only one on the beach, man. It's a beautiful beach. Same in Glen, down in Sarangani province. Same in Sikiho Island. Very few tourists. He says that's wild. Thailand gets a lot of sex pets, though. Let's be real. Not for real. They probably get more in the Philippines, but Thailand gets a lot of families. When I was over there, that's one thing I saw. And you see a lot of women. And you see people from all over. You don't see that in the Philippines. You don't see as many foreign. I saw just as many foreigners in Thailand as I seen Thai people. And that's because the 69 million Thai people, 49 million foreigners. It's just Bangkok is one of the most, if not the most visited city on the planet. Excuse me, I don't know why people always think it's just sex tourism. Yeah, it's a lot, but not as much as you think. Now, remember, Thailand is wide open. We were in Nana Plaza. Man, it was a crickets, man. You could hear crickets. I don't know, it's because the tourism industry hasn't gotten back up all the way, but it was nothing like it used to be. Yeah, they've got a lot of different type of people. I'm part of a Facebook group. It's called Brothers and Sisters in Thailand. And man, I see a lot of sisters going there. They're there now. A lot of women, and you don't see that over here. And yet the Philippines is right over here by Thailand. But see, a lot of the younger people, they're in it for the infrastructure. See, that's what they want. They don't realize that there's something beyond the infrastructure. The Philippines is an experience. And once you come over here, you'll see what that is. I can't explain it, but it's an experience. I've got some of the most sophisticated travelers, guys, that come over here to visit me. And they come over and they don't want to leave. I'm talking about these are people who've been around the world. And they got the money. Money's no object. They can go anywhere, but they want to stay here. So, I don't know. People just have to give it a chance. You're right over here by Thailand. They'll go to Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, but then they'll leave the Philippines. Really, I'm going to tell you something. In 10 years, I'm going to say 20 at the least. Philippines is going to be the jewel of Southeast Asia again, like it used to be back in the 70s. Lisa, Calvin, today I helped someone and I used your slogan at the end of the conversation. Thanks always, sir. And you're a better person for that, man, believe it or not. And a lot of times we stumble up on that principle. We help people all the time. Oh, okay. This is a good question. Because I got to get off here, guys. I got to get ready to go to the grocery store because those ladies, they'll be over in a minute. He says, hey, what's up, Sunshine? How is Surigao area? Do they have a lot of typhoons? My girlfriend lives there. Surigao, rather. I'm going to meet her in September on my vacation. Yeah. Typhoon Odette hit them hard over there. They don't have a lot, but the typhoon hit them bad over there. It's a beautiful area there. It's not really any place you can really meet her. I was going to say I would meet her in Cebu, and then work your way over because it's not that far on a plane. Hey, what's up, J Love? I see you on here, man. Thanks for stopping by. He said This guy here said I was pussy whooped. I did that interview. He said I was pussy whooped on the Philippines. Well, it's a lot worse than I could be, I guess. But, you know, Thailand really is it is a spectacle, man. It's on a whole other level. It's got a lot. They've poured so much money into their tourism industry. And the Philippines is like, okay, here we are. You know, come here and experience us if you like. They're not really going out of their way to invite people over here. Because when I was in America, I never saw a tourism commercial or advertisement about the Philippines, but you see it on Thailand all the time. And I think that's it. And, you know, and then of course Thailand's got that, you know, that infrastructure that people talk about. Then you got the food and all of that. But the Philippines has got its own thing going on over here, man. It's not just the women. You go to some of these, man, some of the most beautiful islands in the world on the planet. Then the low cost of living, the weather, the language, but the welcoming committee. That's what puts it way up here. See, I didn't get that welcoming committee in Thailand. It was like business as usual. The Philippines gets so few tourists compared to Thailand, they don't even treat you like a tourist. I've never been anywhere in the Philippines where they treat you like a tourist. They just don't do it, man. And that's what's so unique about the Philippines. But yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support of Sunshine Shoulders, man. We just recently went over 8 million views, man. It's just crazy, man, when you think about it. That's not easy to do, guys. And I owe it all to y'all. Mr. Scientific says, wait, he says, Gail is married now, by the way. Well, I heard she was engaged. I didn't know she had gotten married yet. But Gail is just a phenomenal, and her father, man, the universe is going to catch up to his ass. That's all I can say. He's got a brilliant daughter that I wouldn't hesitate in a minute to adopt, man. If he only knew. She's over here fighting and scrapping, man, for every peso she can get. And his clown's over there in America living his life, man. Basically just left her over here on her own, man. And every time I see Gail, man, I just see the strength in her. And she's probably better off for being here, man, than over there, to be honest with you. But yeah, take care, everybody. I got to go to Save More and pick up these groceries because they'll be over here. I told them after 12, they'll be here at 12:01. And it's already, 11:52 here, guys. So take care. I got to play my theme song. I forgot last time. And go and check Sharon's channel out, guys. Let's give her some support because, remember, I won't interview anymore. They make it like I've got a dating site and I'm exploiting people, but she can get away with it. And this is where you're going to get your interviews with the single Filipinas. And start asking her questions in her comments. Give her some suggestions. Tell her what y'all want to see. That's why I'm trying to help them. They can do a whole lot more. That's why a lot of times when we're in places like Manila, Panglao, Bahal, I let Marilyn carry the camera. They don't say nothing to her. People don't hide their face. But if I put that camera up, they're hiding.
Real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots
Hey guys, thank y'all again. He says, Cal, what happened to that lady that was looking for her father in the U.S.? Did she ever get to meet him? No, that's Gail. That's who we were just talking about. We found him, though. We found that needle in 10,000 haystacks. He didn't want anything to do with his daughter. That's on him, man. He's got to pay the price for that. Take care, everybody. Help somebody today, man, if you haven't already.